and Katribu. I'm Dina Ventura.
And I'm Francine Marquez.
And welcome to Pairfect.
Hello, Dina. You
Hi,
look
Francine.
nice.
Thank you.
So feminine.
Not as nice as our flowers.
Well, I would say different. No comparison. You're
Yep.
chic as always.
Yes.
Yeah, and we have flowers because it's that time of the year when people give flowers to each other as a sign of love and affection.
Right.
Because it's Valentine's month.
Oo.
Naskupan tayo doon.
Headline. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Nation celebrates Valentine's month.
So people are talking about what? Relationships?
Yes,
Or...
love, affection, passion. Different kinds of passion, diba?
Right.
Which brings us to our special guest today, a very special woman.
Yes.
Let me read something about her.
Yeah.
She's an educator in various universities and colleges. She's a certified franchise executive, certified management accountant, and certified human resources practitioner.
Wow.
She's
dami.
also a business coach of various SMEs and social enterprises. As a teacher, she came up with an advocacy entitled COVID Diaries, a millennial collaboration,
Ayun.
which aims to feature experiences and people during these trying times. Kasi, di ba, we need each other at this point.
More.
We need to work as community. Sabi nga nila, love is all we need.
Love and luck. Ay,
Love and luck.
yan
Yes,
yung ating
swerte.
upcoming concert pala on Friday.
Ay.
Please watch. Ha?
Oo, ang galing. Yes!
Plugging.
Tell us more about it. Sino ba
Later
mga
na.
Oh, sige, later.
Let us welcome
Oo, our special guest for today, Miss Dorelene Dimaunahan. Hello, Miss
Hello,
Dor.
Dor.
Dor? Hi.
Hi! Hello, Dina and Francine. It's so nice to be here with you.
Thank you for joining
I'm so happy.
us.
And thank you for the wonderful introduction.
Ayun. I'm sure kulang yon.
Oo, marami
Madami
pang mga
siya eh.
ano. Yeah, maraming mga ginagawa. Maraming kaganapan.
Oo. So, sige.
Yeah. So, Dor, how has 2021 been for you so far?
Well, fortunately, it's been a busy year, a busy start, because I made sure that I did reflect before January. So every year end, businesses usually do their strategic planning. On my end, I made sure to do reflections as to what I want for the year. Because 2020 has definitely been tough for everyone.
Yes.
So for me, I didn't want to bring baggage with me to 2021. So therefore, I put a lot of positivity, made sure that I'm ready physically, mentally, emotionally for the year. And yeah, I've been working with clients, with my colleagues, and new friends, new collaborations. So it's been a very busy start for me. Thank you for asking.
Yeah. Well, it's never too late to have a fresh start, di ba?
Yes.
Especially with last year, which was a very intense year.
Uh-huh.
Oo nga eh.
So how was 2020 for you? I mean, as you said, it was very hard for everybody, but for you personally and for your business, were you affected?
Well, during the start of 2020, because I teach as well as I do business. So basically, I'm always busy all year round. I also have been studying. Last year, I finished my paralegal course and also part of my dissertation field work.
Okay.
At the middle of the year, or sometime in March, right, when everything was already busy and everyone was panicking because of the pandemic, what I did on my end was to think of an advocacy. Think of what I could do to be able to serve the community and at the same time integrate others, in particular some students of mine, some partners as well. And we came up with what you mentioned earlier. It's called COVID Diaries, a millennial collaboration. So it just started as a plan, basically. Before Easter Sunday, we were just talking about it. I love to write, I love to read, and it was sad because I didn't get to finish the term seeing the rest of my students. So I said, hey, let's keep in touch. Why don't we do something wherein we could still keep in touch? I could coach you, I could mentor you. At the same time, we could have fun. And how is that? Let's do something wherein we create this social media page, Facebook page. And then we research, we write about everything that's happening during the pandemic. We feature people, and fortunately, we didn't expect that it did well. There were a lot of supporters, businesses who shared their stories, what they did during the pandemic, mostly social enterprises, and then also individuals, even those who were caught by the pandemic, and even those from abroad. So they shared everything, and we were very happy that we were the voice of millennials at that time.
Yeah, and I guess it's very important at such a very dark time. People are able to connect, that sense of connection even while you're behind the screen or you're in quarantine. Because after all, we're still humans. We need that touch.
Yes, people to just listen to each other, know each other's stories and experiences. Yun.
Maybe that's why the Zoom inuman parties came about also, di ba?
Kailangan pa din yun.
Oo eh. Yeah. So, Dor, how did you pivot from offline to online in terms of your work? Was it difficult?
Well, for me, personally, as an educator, it was tough at first because as an educator, you have to get a lot of certifications. We have this program that we use. It's called Canvas, and then we have to learn. It's not just us, but the students as well. It's one. In terms of business, it's hard because ako mismo, I'm very used of face-to-face meetings. I love talking to staff. I love talking to clients. It's different, right? There are a lot of nonverbal gestures. You feel the connection when you're face-to-face. But then the shift to online was a bit tough at first. But of course, we got to get used to the new normal, right? And in effect, it became easier for us. Although later on, there were struggles in learning a lot. There's room for misunderstanding, miscommunication, right? When you don't get to see each other, especially let's say, for example, internet is bad or bandwidth is not good, connection is not too stable. You get to just text, right? And if you text or do Viber, Messenger, what not, the point is there's room for miscommunication. So I guess for me, that's the difficulty that I saw both in the education sector and also in the business sector.
I see. So Dor, you mentioned earlier that you're an educator, you teach, but also you're a coach, right? So can you tell us a little bit about what you do for work, diba? Kasi parang ikaw yung multi-hyphenate, talagang may slash.
Super hyphenated.
Kasi you also host a show, I think, right? But tell us of what you do and how your day goes. Pero I'm most interested in yung coaching kasi parang that's such a big nowadays, diba?
We have a lot of lost soul entrepreneurs out there.
Yes,
diba?
who needs
looking
coaching.
for
So parang,
guidance.
Tell us how you got into that also.
All right. So ever since I was young, I've always wanted to talk.
But you're still young.
Oh, thank you very much. I love speaking. I've been in declamation contests. School where I studied, we have all of these with entertainment, extracurricular activities. So we have a lot of those. I got used to it eventually, and then that's the reason why I love to teach as well. Now, when I took my master's degree, I was also, at the time it was called mentorship. I had a mentor. And I felt that it's very important to have a mentor because if you have a mentor, you can be guided better. And from there, I told myself that when I do have students and when I see others who need help or assistance, I do the same by giving back. So I am a mentor as well of different students, different enterprises, startups, aspiring entrepreneurs for, well, let's say about 16 years because I'm also a consultant. But then recently, the term coach just appeared out of everything. No? When you coach, kasi, it's more of like being a friend also, right?
Yeah.
We would think that when you mentor, you're a bit older. Yes, of course, you're more experienced. But me being a coach is being there with the person until the end. It may seem hard. There may be a lot of uh, connection. You think that, oh, it's so stressful, you have to be there all the time. But really, it's not. It's a matter of constant communication. And that's why I love coaching so much. So until now, I coach a lot of people, ranging from those who just want to expand their business, those who are opting to change their careers, those who want to start a business. So whether personal or professional, I may not be a psychologist, but somehow it's them seeing how passionate I am in terms of listening to them and in terms of helping them in any way I can.
So it's also like coaching transformations, right? Like when people
Yes.
go through change, they want a new career or they want to level up their business, they need somebody to be there in that journey. Maybe somebody objective, I suppose. Kasi iba rin if you ask the advice from your friends or family, they'll say another thing, but maybe a coach will really help.
Yeah.
Yes, it's true. In fact, it's the same experience I had. When I was younger, I was more very independent. Most of my mentors are non-family members. So you're raised very independently. And then that's where I saw the need for myself to do what I didn't experience. So in the same manner, those who ask me to coach them also feel the same way. And yes, it is being objective while at the same time showing that you care, right? Because it starts with that connection, quote unquote. Because there are a lot of people out there, but if they see and feel that you're really there for them, then most definitely they'll open up to you as well.
Okay. So, last year, I suppose you did a lot of coaching, no? Ang daming mga nag-rise up na entrepreneurs.
Yeah, and in anticipation of also those businesses that had to fold up, diba?
Right, oo. No? So, you had to,
Oh, yeah, yung how to adapt to the times.
move forward, I suppose, no?
Oo.
So, tell us about that. If what kind of coaching did you have to do last
Yeah,
year?
maybe what kind of clients
Yeah.
generally came to you, reached out to you?
So last year, it wasn't really about coaching. It was really about, well, we all know the word pivoting, right? But for me, when I spoke to colleagues and even myself, I had to first stop, reflect. Okay, what's going on? Okay, regardless of what business you're in, whatever you're doing. So what's going on first? Okay, what do I have now? Right? What can I do? Who are the people involved, the stakeholders? Like, for example, in a business, you have employees. So how are you going to deal with that? Right? And we all know that there were a lot of issues before, especially when it came to seeking for assistance, right? For basic needs at least. So it was really on a case-to-case basis. And just like a doctor, right? When they come to you, you listen. You let them tell you what it is they're feeling or they're going through. But in the same way, you guide them and allow them to reflect first. Like, calm down because you're under so much stress, right? And then from there, let's talk, let's discuss objectively. So most of the programs that we did last year were actually related to mental health strategies in the workplace,
Right.
right? Care for employees. It was mostly on that. Yes, there were also a lot actually, on pivoting, repurposing. But before we did those repurposing, it was more of starting with yourself, re-strategizing, and then also looking at who first should you help.
Yeah.
Okay, because when you are responsible for others, for businesses, for employees rather in your business, then you have to handle that first. For customers, for example,
That's true.
you have to handle those first.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so those were in terms of the SMEs that I coached last year. But for those businesses started to go back to open up again, or for those that did not stop but had skeletal workforce, what we did was to talk about mental health strategies. What should they do to support their employees? Because employees are human capital, and it's very important that you take care of them. Because last year, it's not just about work. It's about mental health as well. It's about physical health as well, emotional health.
Yeah.
I think it's also a time for the business leaders to come out, especially since I know of a lot of entrepreneurs. They were just running businesses for their employees so they can bring home rice, basics, essentials. No?
They were parang shelling out money from their own
Yeah.
savings
We know for a
already.
fact. We have friends who have
Yeah.
businesses, restaurants, stores, boutiques. Dor, at this point, I know you've got a lot of learnings as well for yourself as a coach. What advice would you give the entrepreneurs right now in terms of the new normal way of handling business? But before you answer that, we'll take a break.
All right, so this may seem cliche, okay, but
We'll be
you
back.
have to stay positive, okay, because if you have that passion, 2021 is different. We're already in the new normal.
We're excited.
You have to stay positive, right?
Okay.
You
Dor?
have to make sure that you are open to continuous learning to the digital world, because that is what's going to happen for not just this year but the years to come. So luckily for those who are good at social media or learning social media and other applications whatsoever, keep doing that,
Yeah.
because it's actually cheaper in the long run, and that's why there are a lot of online businesses that actually prospered, right? And we're going to see that as we go along.
Yeah.
You also have to make sure that, well, of course, you stay safe and learn how to collaborate more with others. Because 2020 also taught us how to collaborate and help each other.
Yes.
Kahit na competitors kayo, it showed that even those who are, as I mentioned, competing, help each other to collaborate, because it's no longer a matter of self-survival, but it's the industry or economic survival.
The
Right? Because
whole
we're
industry.
all facing one enemy there. I mean, that's COVID-19. So if we don't help each other out, then we're all going to be
Everybody
back.
is affected,
Yes.
diba? That
So,
happened to
yeah.
our friends in the restaurant industry, diba?
Yeah. So, a lot of inspiring words are coming out already, which gives us some time siguro to reflect muna while we pause for a break. We'll be back with Miss Dorelene Dimaunahan after this break from our sponsor.
Iba ng panahon, ang dami ng bago ngayon. Pati ang mundo natin, well, nagbago na rin. Buti ano bayan, bigger, better na. You can buy it sa centers, pati sa mga partners, may online pa at app. You can buy it with your fingers, still no remittance and more. Online shopping, you can buy it all. Di magpadala, you can buy it all. Anumang pera transaction, you can buy it all. Sabayan ang pagbabago ng mundo for all your pera transactions, all new Bayan.
And we are back. I am Dina Ventura.
And I'm Francine Marquez.
And we are on Pairfect with our
Yes.
guest, Dorelene Dimaunahan.
Hello, welcome back, Dor. Before we had the break, I was asking you, well, I'd like to find out. Let's move on to the season of love right now, and luck and love, diba? Since it's Valentine's and Chinese New Year on Friday, we want to ask, as a coach for businesses and enterprises,
And for personal
Yes.
growth, right?
can love and work together? Is it possible? Like if you're an owner of a business or if you're a lady boss?
Definitely. Because, we're human. The heart is part of us. We cannot just take out our hearts from our bodies, right? If not, we're dead.
Yes.
So in the same manner, life, love, business, they all come together, right? It may be to help us, to inspire us, yeah? And it also may be something that will teach us a lesson. I personally say this because I experience a lot of emotional ups and downs, right? And that's the reason why mental health has been very popular, because it does good and it may also do not so good to a person. But once you surpass it, everything gets a lot better. And I'm speaking as an advocate because I've also been through that in the past.
Really?
One of the things I'd like to share to everyone is that before anything else, it's always about self-love. Regardless of it being business or life, it's a self-love. Why? You have to know yourself first. In life, you can't do anything if you're confused, right? You do planning, personal growth, you attend all of these workshops, but you have to know yourself. Okay? In the same manner, before you start a business, the first thing I'm gonna let you do as a coach is to get to know yourself. Do a SWOT analysis of yourself.
How do you do that, Dor?
I'm sorry?
How is that done? I mean, how do you get to know yourself? Diba, it's a long process. For some people, it takes their whole lives.
Oh yeah, true. That's very true. Though. Even myself sometimes, I mean, saying just joking. So, well, you reflect. What are the things that you want? What are your goals in life? I know it's hard, but then again, this vision boards or dream boards, it changes, by the way, because we get more mature, right? The way we handle things, relationships, whether it's love or non-love relationship, is different as you age, as you grow, as you experience actually. So in terms of knowing yourself, you start with the now. Like, what do you like to do now? And this I say even with those who are confused as to, okay, what business can I do?
Right.
I don't know. There's a lot of online businesses, chances, but I don't know. So if it were in the life aspect, I also do this reflection wherein, okay, where am I now? Last year, where did I say I wanted to be?
Ayun.
Okay, that is if I'm speaking just for myself. It is different if you are with a family, but before that, it's also best to also know yourself, because you cannot guide others, you cannot guide your family without knowing yourself.
Yeah.
It's just like in a business as well. Business, if you look at it as a person, right? The business is its vision, its mission. So that's the goal.
Okay.
And then there are values like a person. So the business, just like any person, if you own it, you get to assess, okay, where would you want to be? What can you do now? What can you provide now? And you know what? The plan is always different from what happens. And it's okay to change.
Yeah, it never turns out perfectly as you planned it.
But maybe some life hacks. So how do you turn I don't know into I know, or at least I have an idea?
What kind of tools, diba?
Practical steps can we take?
Practical steps. You know what? Be open to learning. Ask people. Don't be afraid to ask. Research online. That's what I would say. Because like now, diba, we have a lot of time at home. We could watch Netflix or at least stories about other people, read about them. Because sometimes when you learn from others, learn about others, you get to also assess, oh, so I think that I fit, my situation fits that type of personality. And somehow, just like the telenovelas, right, in movies, we tend to see how much we fit in that situation or how we do not fit in that situation, and then learn from there. So that's what I would say. You can research because, of course, we all want to be safe, right? And the second one would be, of course, to ask others. I would ask my mentors or those who I'm close to. It really depends on the topic, though.
People you
Because
trust.
there
I
are
suppose.
others who can answer personal questions, others could answer professional questions, right? It
Tama.
really depends.
So, reflect and then ask others and then somehow put together a vision of who you are at the moment. Ganun ba yun?
Yes.
Am I
that's
getting it
perfect.
right, Coach?
You're a good student.
Perfect, Lisa.
Okay.
Oo,
Pero
may
Dor,
check ka sa araw na to. Joke lang.
Dor, how about couples who work together? What would be your advice to them? How do you keep the professional side going but also your relationship?
Yeah, you want to save somehow keep the relationship, no?
Paano mo yun
Lalo na
gagawin?
kasi I see a lot of millennials right now. Parang boyfriend, girlfriend, they
Yeah,
put up businesses together,
together.
parang ganyan. So it's really a test of their faith in each other siguro and the relationship itself.
Oo.
Your
Actually,
advice?
that's a tough, that can be tough. At the same time, it can be also something that's beneficial. Tough because personalities would clash, right? And you have to really know you have to delineate the difference between personal and professional, which is very,
Hard.
very difficult. Okay, so there's a thing wherein you actually match the values of the person with that of yours. That's important. As well as the culture of the business or the person. Okay, the mere fact that you guys are couples means that personally you're good together, but it does not always mean that professionally you can be good together. Like I know of relatives that try to work together, but one decided to be in corporate, right?
Right.
And I know of couples they've been together for the longest time. My grandparents in particular been together for so many years in both business and also personally. So the thing here is number one, understanding. Again, it starts with the self. Siyempre, as they say, if merong isang mainit, huwag sabayan. That's what they say.
Oh.
I think it's perfect. In business, what I believe is that there are different functions in an organization, right? For example, there's HR, there's marketing, there's finance, there's operations. So if you're a couple, it's best for you to decide which functions you're going to handle. Because in that way, you can delineate your roles in the business.
Separate lang.
So my 2 cents. But of course, easier said than done. Right?
True.
Tama.
Oo nga eh. Pero what about naman, Dor, for singles? Is it right to look for love in the workplace or in business? Is that a good mindset?
May kwento ako dun mamaya.
Sige.
Talaga, I'm interested. You know what?
Yeah, yung single ka, you want to set up a business, pero at the same time, naghahanap ka rin ng life partner siguro, or maybe somebody who will be with you. Is that a good, do you advise that?
Well, it depends. Kasi, diba, pag ang love, you can't really control that feeling. Diba? Sometimes, andyan eh, even if, you're not looking for it. But you do have to really think about it because it's going to affect a lot of things. In the workplace, it's different. Kasi you work together, I don't know, if you're in a different department, you get to miss each other, di ba may ganung factor. So, okay lang, you see each other after work. The more difficult part is if you're in the same business and then you stay home together. So, syempre, people need time as well to recharge, need time to think, need time to work alone, depending on the personality. So, with that's the time you have to discuss first at the onset pa lang. Okay, we're entering this. It's a different thing. Being together is already it may be tough, right? There are good times and bad times. So if we are going to add something else into the picture that will involve things like money, extra time that we are going to sacrifice for vacations, quote unquote, and instead use that for work, are we willing to do that? So, dapat din may proper planning if kaya. Hindi yung basta-basta lang papasukin just because, oh, this is great, being a couple is awesome because at least we can always be together, but it's not always like
True.
that.
Yeah. So talagang may factor na strategize din, no? At the end of the day, it's still business, right? You still need to get the revenues, the profits, and pay your people.
So,
Yeah.
so what are you saying, Francine?
No, parang may check din ako.
Okay.
Like you. Joke.
Pairfect again.
Yay!
Para magka-check din.
Okay. Ito naman, question. Kasi Valentine's Day, di ba? So we're all focused on that feeling, love. There's this saying, love conquers all. Does that mean in life, in love, in work, whatever? What are your thoughts about this?
Yeah.
But yeah, you know what? At the end of the day, it does conquer all, no? You know, personally for me, it depends on the experience of the person. Because I know of some who have succeeded by themselves, whereas some have succeeded as a couple. It's very inspiring. At the end of the day, it's yes, love conquers all. But again, let's not limit it to just just love in the sense of romantic love.
Yes.
Like there should always be a balance.
That's true.
If you can balance, kumbaga, if you can balance the romantic love, with, of course, self-love, you never should forget yourself, and that would be much better. And if you have a business or something else that you have together, then that would be also great. Para kayong may baby na inaalagaan, no? And at the end of the day, I'm sure everything will turn out to be great once you've settled everything, once you've discussed, planned, strategized, as you mentioned. And yeah, it's going to be something that you'll never forget, something that you can tell generations to come. And that's the best part about it.
Ako naman, I've also, love in terms of passion siguro, di ba? How do you feel about this idea na if you love something like a hobby, an object, or an activity, go for it as a business and people will follow? How does that resonate with you?
Is it as simple as that?
Hindi nga eh. Yun nga eh. Parang, kikita ba yan? No, but this is what I like eh. So how do you resolve that mindset, that idea?
Okay, so during the pandemic, I've been mentoring and also hosting Go Negosyo, right? And as such, I've been speaking to a lot of mentees, and I would say that most or majority of them have really continued their business because of passion.
Okay.
Right? And if I may say that they would repeatedly mention na dahil ito sa pagmamahal ko sa pamilya ko, dahil ito sa pagmamahal ko dito sa gusto ko, you know? So passion plays a big role in coming up with a business or continuing a business for that matter, right? Because like, for example, during the pandemic, if it's not something that you're passionate about, wala na eh.
Give up ka na.
You'd hate it. However, of course, it comes with planning, right? It's not just about passion. As a business, it will start with that. Kasi pagtsatsagaan mong aralin eh. But then again, as you go along, as you tend to professionalize the business, as you tend to grow the business, what happens is you need to research, you need to know your customer base better, you need to improve, right? You need to structure, you need to formalize. So there are a lot of things that happen. It's just that the passion makes things better, makes things stronger.
Yeah, you
That's what I
can
say about it.
overcome even the challenges, di ba?
Yeah. Siguro, nagkakaroon ka ng unique proposition kasi Usually yung passion na yan eh. Crazy business idea.
Oo, yan yung
in
yung mga
marketing.
ideas.
Yeah, so,
Ayun.
oo nga. Medyo, we wanted to talk to Dor more about,
Actually, may mga advocacies yan si Dore.
mm-mm.
Maybe you can also tell us about that, what you advocate, what you have been advocating, and as a final message to our viewers.
Right. So, well, last year, and even now, and in the years to come, I see myself involved in a lot of advocacies. I'm active in JCI, Millennia, in the Rotary, also in the ASEAN Youth Organization, and I feel very fortunate because those have been part of my goals. It just so happened that it all fell in 2020. And last year, apart from COVID Diaries and Millennial Collaboration, we're in this platform of ours will eventually turn into a book, right? So that people can be reminded of the things that happen, especially the millennials. I also highly value mental health. Also, we had advocacies on violence against women and children. Those were two of the most highlighted advocacies we have. And on a personal note, I also make sure that I continue to serve the social enterprise community and micro enterprises who wish to do coaching with me, at least for 30 minutes for free, just to talk, just to know whether their plans or ideas are doing okay. So that's what I've been doing, and that's what I tend to do. So, well, this has been a quick chat with the both of you, and it's really, really amazing. I had so much fun. And of course, to our audience, thank you very much for listening. I hope that I was able to inspire you. And if you wish to reach me, I'm on Facebook, Dorelene Dimaunahan. Also on Instagram, Dorelene Dimaunahan as well. So just send me a PM because I would be more than happy to chat with you, to coach you with anything. If there's anything I can be of help with, I'm just here.
All right.
Wow.
It's so nice to hear that, no?
Yeah.
Kasi nowadays,
Oo.
that's really something we all need, no?
Yeah.
Not just a person to listen, but also to guide.
Yes,
Kasi
yes,
sometimes
yes.
it gets so confusing, di ba? Life, I mean.
With all the information we're bombarded
Yes.
with, diba? You need
So,
to sift through it with someone who's seasoned and professional at that.
So we're very, very, very honored to have you with us today, Dor Dimaunahan. Thank you for sharing with us your time and your knowledge and your good advice. We'll take note of a lot of those things, no?
Yes, yes, a lot of takeaways for today.
Yes. And before we say goodbye, we'll just pause for a short break.
Magsha-shopping na lang ako!
Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver.
Hello, can I get the following? One pink chair, bed sheets, na pink yung sofa, tapos slides, size 8, pajamas na blue. Oh, don't forget my...
Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver.
Wait lang. Okay ba yan?
Anything at the SM store, ma'am.
Call to deliver. Call.
Kuya, pwede rin ba ako magpa-deliver sa ate ko sa Taguig, tapos sa friend ko sa Davao, tsaka sa... cancel ko sa Lipa? Okay ba yan?
Kahit saan po, pwede kami
Call
mag-deliver.
to deliver. Call. Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver. Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver. Call. Hashtag 143SM. Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver.
Call na rin kayo.
Call to deliver.
I'm Francine Marquez with Dina Ventura, and we just had a very special guest, Miss Dorelene Dimaunahan, a business coach, educator, and so much more. We really learned a lot from her.
Oh, she's a millennial eh.
Oo, tapos great. I like her attitude.
Oh, she broke a lot of parang misconceptions about millennials, di ba?
In the sense na, yun nga, it's really, pandemic is really just a mindset. What your if you train your mind to do something, you'll be able to achieve
do it.
Yes, you can
But not
actually do it.
everybody is as, parang she's so equipped yung mentally, emotionally to handle mga issues na people go through. And that's how she ended up with her specialty, yung coaching.
Yeah, true.
Galing.
Yeah. So parang takeaway ko dito, there are better days ahead if you just put your heart into it. But with a lot of planning, no?
Right.
Strategize and communicate, especially if you're working with your partner or friend or family.
Yan, important talaga yung planning.
Oo.
And then setting your mind for the year ahead. Na
That's
parang
how you
reset.
Yeah, that's how you do it with love and luck, diba? Just
Oy.
like our
Love
forthcoming
and Luck.
concert.
Yes, we have an upcoming digital concert for Valentine's Day. So please watch that. That's going to be on Friday, 9 p.m. Please tune in to our FB page.
With our host,
Poch Concepcion.
the one and only.
We have so many very big names na guests.
Yeah,
Watch out for it.
Yes. We'll be
Ayan.
announcing it also on our Facebook page.
Yes.
No?
Oo.
Yeah,
Saya,
so,
diba?
looking forward to a very sweet weekend. So,
Valentine weekend
Oh.
and Chinese New Year.
so, kung hey Fat Choy in advance, happy Valentine's Day in
Valentine.
advance.
Watch our show after this pala also.
Oh, right.
Kalingin Katribu, Health and Wellness with Cory Quirino.
Yes.
Don't go away.
And so, on that note,
But for now, we'll say goodbye.
yes, this has been Francine Marquez,
And this has been Dina Ventura.
and this has been
Pairfect.
Pairfect.